Good morning YouTube, and welcome to a wet day in a Scandinavian forest. I'm here today to do something I thought I would never do, because if I was supposed to do what I am about to, it would be laughable. But long story short, old company called AGAWA Canyon, now known as AGAWA Gear or AGAWA from Canada. If you're into the bushcraft community or the outdoors or camping, or you may have heard of a folding box saw. It's one of the best I've ever had. I tend to go with my Silky because, I don't know, they are almost equal. The Silky just fits me, but from time to time I break out my collapsible box saw from AGAWA Gear and I go camping. Today I'm doing a product review. I was asked by Brad and Graham from AGAWA if I would like to do this. I said yes. So here we are. The weather forecast for today is a bit 50-50. We had a lot of rainfall during the night, so I'm hoping that we will stay dry for the next few hours for me to wrap this up and help the boys out. I'm doing something different than the other very respectable gentleman who had the pleasure of using, holding and testing this axe did. So without further ado, let's just go camping. The humidity is almost 100, I would believe. Oopsie. And everything is drenched. So, welcome to camp. But it looks a bit cold, dark, and not that hospitable. Is it called that? Guest friendly? I don't know. But let's see if we can change it. There we go. Much better. So I pitched one of my tarps from my hammock in case it starts to pour, so I have a place for you to stand and for us to talk. And I pitched my regular 3x3 tarp on my tripod skeleton next to my campfire, so we can get warm and we can get dry, because my pants for what I'm about to do is going to get wet. And it's not raining, but the trees are wet, so there will be a lot of dripping today. But let's get cracking. Wet pants and humid Scandinavian weather conditions, just as I promised. This is what we're talking about today. This is the AGAWA ADK 26. And before I go rambling on about axes, use, looks, feel, if it gives me the fizz, or if I'm happy, or every other stupid thing that I always say in this video, before we do that, I'm going to tell you something that I don't always normally do. Very respectful people, Joe Robinette and Mike from TA Outdoors, Dave Canterbury, are some of the three main persons I have seen. I don't recall the gentleman's name, but Sparrow Bushcraft and Ted Baird from the Alone series all had this, not this one, but a production model similar to this. And I'm going to link everything I can in this video down below, because there's a lot of specs, there's a lot of telling, there's a lot of mentioning of materials. I'm Danish. This is not my job. This is a hobby. I do this because I enjoy it. I do this because I enjoy axes, and I do this because the people behind this brand are worth mentioning and worth talking about and worth dedicating your time to. So, without further ado, this is the ADK 26 collapsible, take apart, breakdown axe. Comes with the traditional hard material Kudura nylon sheath, carrying bag, has a belt loop. We're going to use that later because we're camping. Main body part or body part is the hatchet. It has a few hot spots at the bottom due to the polymer or the plastic lines or fixation spots. Call them what you want, but it doesn't matter. A hatchet you can grip up top, and a hatchet you can grip down below. This is what we're going to be using today. If you combine this with the rest of this, this is the bottom part. Same plastic material, polymer. The other gentleman knows what it's called. I'm here to talk about the axe. Same material, but much better finish at the bottom. No hot spots. Two very strong, very solid metal clamps would secure this into this. Making it a 26-inch breakdown forest axe. And a huge range up drop just hit my camera. I hope the video quality will be okay, but I'll check it when we're done. This comes with a sturdy leather sheath, leather mask. And it is sharp. It is sharp. That's actually interesting because this is what I like to see. A shiny edge, sharp, that grips the skin on my fingers, and a curve inside. Someone called them phantom bevels. I don't know if that's the correct word, but this would initially help splitting wood, and if the axe should get stuck, this curve inside would give the axe head room to wiggle out a bit better. Sorry, little camera. Sure is sharp. So, in some of the videos made by the other respected gentlemen, they split logs, they stood on it. Without bragging or neglecting anything, I'm over 220 pounds. In Danish terms, I'm 102 kilograms. I'm a fairly heavy man. Some of the gentlemen stood on this between two rocks, and it's a very persuasive stress test. Very, to illustrate how strong the joint is. I'm not going to do that because I don't find any reason where this, unless it would be a survival tool hanging me between two rocks in a canyon, gripping for my life, I don't find any place else where I would need to stress test the joint with 102 kilograms of me. So, stress testing and all that is not me. This is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go camping. So, let's get some firewood. Let's bring the axe. And let's get a fire going and get a coffee. So, when it's this humid out here, we have small frogs living here. And I just love it. Whoops! I just love it. He's in a hurry to go home. But I'll let him. Or let her. Nasty frogs. So, 26-inch forest axe, and for the breakdown part, I forgot something. At first, you all know what you thought this was. I haven't tested it, if it can do this, but you place this device, or this metal opening device, place it with the eye down and push, eye down and push, and the axe slides apart. They have a small bucket to keep this in. I'm going to test if we can open a beer with this, trust me, but it has a small pocket. Joe mentioned in his video that the idea of a small magnet or a small lanyard here to do this would be ideal. So just to add a twist, regular size bushcraft knife, and the axe comes apart. Should you drop this, should you use the back, the sharp spine of your slim bushcraft full tang blade, and I'm sure this will be okay. I can tell from the sharp edges of the metal that this would, over time, doing this 278 times, would wear it. So keep the metal bottle opener / axe opener safe. So everything I do here needs to be with respect for nature, because I'm camping on private land. So what we have here is a very small, seasoned dead standing. So let's see if we can open the axe, loose the mask, and make a cut on the front facing side, and see if we can push it over. I'm just going to kneel down. So the axe makes very, very fine and very deep strokes or cuts, and I only had to break the back part. This is not a full tree trunk or anything, but I live in Denmark, camping on private land, and the small hatchet works like a charm. It's wet and hot today. So, due to poor camera control and lack of an extra cameraman, I only brought the one tree. They were different lengths, and when the fire's going and everything is settled down, I'll go break down the other one and bring it back. I did my best, but I don't have a cameraman, so I can't carry everything. And if you've been to camp with me before, you know that I usually prep firewood over there. My axe station is compromised by the tarp due to rain safety, so we'll have to make do with a simple stump. So, I'm going to be working and talking. See, when you come upon a piece of wood that is too long for your axe, it would actually be for my advantage to have the handle on. But we're going to do this the hatchet style. So placing the axe, finding a place for it to rest. Whoops. And the axe, due to sharpness, sinks in to the wood, making it possible for me to split it apart. The great part about having my AGAWA Boreal 21 here is that when placing firewood in the damp forest floor, you can place it on top of the axe and you can place it on top of the saw, and the box saw is strong enough to carry not a lot of weight. But splitting this and carrying it just behind the camera, placing it next to the fire, it can absolutely do that. And it would also ensure that the dampness from the forest floor is not touching the wood. And I'm absolutely not going easy on this. Not at all. So the overall performance of the axe is very good. It's very good. It squeezed my hand a bit, splitting the longer pieces. I was thinking mainly due to this curve. I don't know, but I'm used to curved handles, and this axe is straight in the fit. So it's not a problem for me. It's just something that when you use it, you learn and you adapt. When you baton kindling and you get your soft skin stuck between the tree or the wood because it doesn't open fully, it's also an experience. But the overall performance, strength, compactability, sharpness, ability to take apart and break down, it's all very good. So let's get a fire going and let's get my pants dry. So, no more dry spots on the pans for me to wipe my axe. The AGAWA ADK 26-inch breakdown hatchet slash forest axe. What do I think? I like it. As a tool, I like it. It reminds me a bit of the traditional axe, not the traditional, but the usual axe that you will see in this configuration from Fiskars or Gerber or something like that. But it has more. It feels more solid. The head feels more complete. The edge feels more intense. The sharpening is better. The edge geometry is better. The head geometry is better. The huge pole on the back is an absolute game changer. I can drive large stakes or tent pegs into the ground. This wasn't sharpened, this was flat. So I like it. But how does it compare? Nobody of the respected gentlemen did this, what I'm about to do. And if I'm getting critiqued for it, bring it. Where does it fit with me? Where does it fit with an axe junkie? Where does it fit? Where does it fit? And to make everything better, I just got stung on the forehead by a massive mosquito. So, where does it fit? Comparing it to this, the woodsman's go-to, the one you can buy in the shops, the one made in Sweden, the one with the hickory handle, the one that everybody at some point wants. The Gränsfors Brooks small forest axe. This is my 6-year-old Tobias Thelin Gränsfors Brooks small forest axe, pitted with sap and gunk and dirt. But sharp. The head geometry is actually not that off. The AGAWA has a flared profile up here, with making it more ideal for splitting larger rounds, stumps, large pieces of firewood. The Gränsfors Brooks is not a splitting axe, it's a forest axe. It's made for cutting, it's made for penetrating, it's made for slicing. What I did today with this, I can also do with this. But what I would find at some point out here, busting down a larger tree, this would come in more handy. It has more weight to the head, and if I was supposed to, I would have to bring something like the Scandinavian forest axe, or the Liam Hoffman camp axe, or a DSI boys axe, or a Kelly wood slasher on a 24-inch camp axe handle configuration, something like that. But this is new, and this has been here for ages. Cheers. From my point of view, this is what an axe is supposed to look like. And this is what an axe could look like and would work absolutely perfect for the tool that it is. Taking it into my camp would feel absolutely okay. Absolutely. It would belong here, it would work here. I could actually keep it here. If I kept this here, I would ruin it. If I kept this here in my firewood stash under a tarp for a year, it would work just as well. This would break. The handle would be infected by moisture, the head would rust, and it would break. This one wouldn't. If I were to go camping in a canoe, if I were to go camping on a rainy day, if I were to go camping in deep snow, not knowing where I was supposed to go, this would be the tool that would be just like a crowbar or a screwdriver or something German made, something that would work all the time. I was told, I saw all the 3 videos, I was told by Joe that the steel is very decent and correcting any damage that we all make here. Sometimes we hit knots, stones, that chip the axes or roll the edges. Sorry. I was told in Joe's video that correcting this edge would be very easy and that it would take a very keen edge afterwards. I brought a field strop with me today. But there's no use. This grips the skin of my fingers like it wants to tear it apart. I was told a long time ago that if you take 3 fingers and you run it across the cutting edge of the tool, knife that you're working, and if your brain tells you stop doing this, you're going to hurt yourself, the tool that you're handling is sharp. This one is. So, an honest review, a camping inspired review, and if you want all the further information on the ADK 26 breakdown hatchet forest axe, there is a link in my description to Mike from TA Outdoors, Joe Robinette from to Joe Robinette, everybody knows Joe, and to the video from Dave Canterbury. These videos will have all the words, all the info, all the measurements, and more in-depth facts about what this is. I took it camping in a drenched Scandinavian forest, building a fire, cutting firewood, falling a small tree, and it worked. I'm very pleased, I'm very happy. And I'm also pleased that it didn't start to rain a lot, because it was supposed to. So with everything there is to be happy about, I want to say thank you for joining me for something different, something friendly, something to be inspired by, and something new. If I were to set a challenge for this, if I were to take it or hand it over to someone and ask him to make it fail, we have, or had, I don't know if he's still active, we have a Danish bushcrafter called Rune, and he does the most crazy things, camping on islands, camping in the northern part of Sweden, living in a moss teepee with homemade footwear, sleeping in reindeer hives, building, cutting and carving everything with a Finnish, from Finland, Finnish styled axe or hatchet. He does everything. The axe lives with him in his teepee in wintertime in 50 centimeters of snow, busting down trees and whatever he did. If someone had to take an axe and make it fail, make this one fail, make any axe fail. He builds his own axes, he's a blacksmith. Make any axe fail, it would be him. And I still think he wouldn't break it. Maybe he would roll the edge, but Rune carries a sharpening puck or a stone. He would fix it and use it. It would be fun to see. If you're out there, Rune and AGAWA, if you're listening, you should send Rune Malte Bertram, or Rune Bertram Malte. I don't know. He's a previous contender for the Danish version of Alone. You should send him somewhere, beating the heck out of this, seeing if it would survive. And I'm sure it would. From me, in the wet Scandinavian forest of Denmark, have a nice day. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time.